This is Plan Voodoo. Welcome back. I'm your host, Derek. Joining me as always, Alex. And again, we have Martin here today.
What an episode.
Oh, man.
So just off the top, I want to preface this by saying this episode will serve as a recap for episode 5, season 43. In a few days after this episode's posted, we'll be doing a power rankings of the remaining players. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. So let's get into it. So this episode, we saw Coco go back to camp after the Lindsay vote out, and immediately we see Cassidy question who voted for her, and essentially Gio fessed up that it was him in a one-on-one with her.
He was proud about it.
He was proud this whole episode.
Yeah.
Good move or bad move on Gio's part to own up?
This was a textbook episode of bad playing all around.
Yeah.
Which is weird. We'll get more into it later because
everybody.
The whole editing was just like him and Ryan. It was that was textbook of just bad gameplay all around. Yeah, no, you shouldn't have done that.
What do you guys think? Do you think it was smart on Cassidy's part just to throw it out there, like who voted for me, instead of getting information from others?
That tends to be what happens after every tribal, though. Like, when they come back to camp, they'll usually kind of talk, like, among the group.
Yeah.
And then, like, I wonder if the Lindsay boot kind of maybe influenced her, because Lindsay was really paranoid, and she probably saw, I don't know.
She got inspiration from that.
Yeah, she started to get paranoid herself. I don't know.
This is the thing is, like, I'm wondering, like, because remember when High got a vote last year, and he just went, like, fucking ham on Romeo? Like, you're gaslighting me and stuff. It's like, would you react like that if you got one vote?
It's not a good idea in my mind to kind of throw it out there that you got a vote, because then that's in the back of people's minds. Hey, they have a vote. They're kind of a target to get out. I just don't think she went out about it the right way.
I don't think so. This is the other thing is like when you do have like a freak out like that, that tells people like we gotta blindside your ass pretty much. Like you if you have a freak out, like people are gonna be like, we can't have that happening again. So next time we go for you, we gotta just get you out. So
and like she just probably gets the question in her head, like, was it one of my alliance members where that vote came from?
I mean, I doubt she would think Carl or James would vote. Yeah. It would have to be Ryan or Gio. So I don't know what crying for that answer would do.
Yeah, and actually, funny enough, speaking about the vote, I believe I said near the end of last episode that Gio was kind of reminding me of Romeo, just going rogue a bit with the vote, and he was actually clued in on this vote from what Cassidy has said. Him and Ryan both were, and he still at the end voted Cassidy.
Yeah, it was a contingency vote in case someone played a shot in the dark, which no one has yet. So I think they kind of should.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I think they kind of should retire the shot. It hasn't worked yet. So
1 in 6 is too low.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be I don't want it in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
So no shot in the dark use. I am fine with that.
I honestly, until you mentioned it right there, I totally forgot that it was a thing of the season.
Yeah. No, I think that's why I think they mentioned it at the start of the episode where they're like, oh, we were afraid that Lindsay might play her shot in the dark or something, but here's what it is.
So yeah, then we see they pan over to Baca.
This is my favorite tribe. Because I want them to go to tribal council really bad because I think it would be a lot of fun.
We'll get into it more in our maybe at the end of this episode, but more than likely in our power rankings episode.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, we see Ellie and Janine in the woods looking for an idol. Janine finds it in a tree, and they open it up, and it's the same beware advantage that we've seen for the other two tribes. Have to collect all 6 beads from everybody. No clue how she got Mariah's bead. They didn't even touch on that, but her name was on the.
It just skipped. You just skipped that.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
But they're looking at it, and they're pretty much saying, all right, we just can't let Owen know that we have this. And out of nowhere,
that was a great camera shot right there. Owen's just sneaking right in, casually.
Yeah, Owen walks up, strolls up, and they're caught red-handed.
Yep.
As they would say.
Idle-handed, yep.
And they pretty much have to let him read the note.
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit before you got here, Martin, about how he gave the beads away, like, pretty much, like, right away. It looks like he wants to work with the girls rather than Gabler and Sammy.
And like he made a quick mention like, oh, I could hold my bead and sabotage him, but yeah, he did give it to them, and he's probably gonna work.
You can't hold your bead in that situation. You look like
you could.
You can, but then it looks like you're going to target them.
Yeah, but if it's clear that you have the numbers, which it could just be the guys, and it's clear.
But then you wouldn't want to do that because both of them are trying to have options. They're very Kim Spradlin move. Options. I have options. So Sammy is also trying to play double agent. So if you don't give a bead away, you lose a lot of trust there, just in general in the game. So the only one that could say no was Gabler.
Do you think that it was I don't know. I just want to say this. I think it's quite stupid of both women to just I don't know how the timing worked out, but I wouldn't have that note out for long while I'm reading it. I would try to hide it.
And they're by the water well.
Yeah.
It's not like an unseen. It's not like that's a popular location people go to. That's not you go into the jungle. No, that was dumb of them. They're not playing well.
And then speaking of playing dumb,
she makes some stupid decision later in the episode.
Ellie decides to spoil the beans to Sammy, who's unbeknownst to her is
double agent.
Yeah, wants to work with Gabler to get out the girls.
Yeah, no, they do not want to work with Owen either.
No one wants to work with Owen.
It's crazy. And Owen wants to work with everyone.
Yeah.
So, she's... What do you think of Ellie?
Well, I think she started off well, but the past couple episodes, it's kind of that whole tribe feels like the past couple episodes is just a big old mess.
Yeah, no, they are. That's why I want to see them in tribal council.
Yeah, it makes them entertaining. It's good TV to watch.
I think Sammy has progressively just stayed steady, kind of, but like everyone else is just fucking plummeting their stock.
I mean, I disagree.
Owen has these dips where like
I think the only disagreement I guess on my part with Sammy is he's closely working with Gabler. I don't think that's smart, but that's just my opinion.
Well, we talked about last episode. Gabler's a loyal vote,
but I
guess the guy that you can carry and you can have his vote.
Yeah.
For when tribal comes.
Yeah, and if he goes I don't think he'll win at Final Tribal Council if Sammy brings him to Final Tribal.
I don't think Sammy will either because of his age, but that's another
we'll see.
Discussion.
He's saying he's 22. So
if that's your final tribal argument.
Well, no, that's not the only thing he's going to say. He didn't mention his age of this episode.
I know.
First time, I think, ever, he has not mentioned he's 19 years old, too. Then we get to the reward challenge, or
just the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
Straight to it. No hero role. I guess the very end of the...
Yeah.
But that's...
They had Dwight
like
do
a carnival game.
Yeah. No puzzle, though.
No puzzle.
Another challenge without a puzzle at the end. So
it was fun.
I like the maze portion. Where like they're all tied up and you gotta go through those like logs.
Yeah, they had different ideas to do it. I think Vesey crawled underneath.
Yeah, Cody just went under and everyone just followed.
Mm-hmm. And then they have the teeter-totter thing with the water. I think that's where Missy in season 29 really fucked up her leg because of that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me nervous going on those things, but they brought it back. And yeah.
I mean, yeah, the only thing I guess to mention about the challenge, do you pose it both to you, Alex and Martin, do you think that Ryan intentionally threw that challenge?
He's so full of shit, dude. He's so full of shit. That's a Philip kind of thing. Like, I threw that challenge. I didn't tell anyone. What?
No, yeah, you got it spot on. I don't think he meant to throw it, but he just put it out there because he lost it at the end.
This is the thing is he also so people are gonna roast him for throwing a challenge. If he was in the position he thought he was in, there's nothing wrong with throwing a challenge to get out someone you don't trust right before the merge.
You don't know the merge is coming.
You don't, but you can kind of guess around 12, 13, merge is coming 11. These are times. If they did it like 2 episodes ago, no, it's way too early to throw a challenge. But this episode, not a bad time to throw a challenge to get Cassidy out or something like that. If he was running the tribe like he thought he was, but he wasn't. So it looks dumb because he had no control of the tribe.
What do you think, Martin? Do you think it's any time's a good time to throw a challenge?
Pre-merge and you got that threat that you think you can take out, I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
But you have to be in that position, which Ryan is nowhere near that.
No, he's not.
And then I think 41, you had someone trying to throw a challenge too.
Did they?
In the same.
Oh yeah, they tried to get out Erica.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and they didn't do it. And what happened? Erica won the season.
I'm in a disagreement with both of you. I think you want to try to minimize your times going to tribal when you can, and it's not smart to try to ever go to tribal because you never know what could happen. So I don't think it's I guess I don't think it's a good choice to throw a challenge.
There's been a lot. Richard Hatch threw a challenge and won the season because of it. I mean,
okay, you're looking at the end results. That's not.
Well, no, I mean he threw it at the final 3.
Yeah, that's different.
So it's like throwing challenges aren't bad. It's just Survivor likes to paint a picture that it is bad when really it's actually a smart gameplay. Sometimes it's stupid. Sometimes it's stupid. This time was not a good call. But like I said, if it was Ryan was running the tribe like he thought he was, yeah, that would have been actually a good decision. And Cassie goes home. That would have been a good play by him.
Really quickly, since I wasn't here for the previous one, and we're on the subject of challenges.
Yeah.
Helping another tribe in challenges.
Oh yeah, I think it's dirty as fuck.
Dirty. Okay.
I think it's dirty.
I was curious what the reaction was.
It's fair. Like it's fair, but I'd be fucking pissed, dude. Like I'd come into the merch. Like I said, I'd come into the merch hacking, dude. With that machete. Like no. They're lucky they didn't, or they should have taken that machete from me because I'm coming in hacking.
I mean, my take on it was Coco performed poorly, and that's their own problem. If they were ahead of everyone, then it wouldn't have happened.
So then they go to the little
Coco
island.
loses.
Coco does lose.
So that's 2 straight. That's 2 back to back.
Yeah.
And then they choose.
So it's got an asterisk on both of them because one was another tribe helped them, and this one was because someone might have thrown it. So it's like, I wonder if they're losing or if they're just losing.
I feel like the other 2 tribes are pretty strong at this point too.
Well, I think Vessi got rid of all their like dead weight, so they're. I guess they're not set, but they look pretty good.
Yeah, and they look. I put up a poll too on Twitter, and people have said that Vessi's the most united tribe going into the merge.
Shout out to our Twitter @PlanVoodooPod.
Yeah, I got a poll up today. Yeah, I got a poll up today. Who has the best, or who's on the top of the power rankings?
Does it expire?
It does in 24 hours.
I'll have this posted. Make sure to go vote on that poll. @PlanVoodooPod.
Yeah, Carla's running away with it right now, so I need some more Sandy votes. But yeah, so they go to the islands and
who goes?
Martin, who went?
Gio.
Yes.
Jesse and Janine.
Yep. And I think it's kind of lame that they dropped him off at like a boat and they're like, row your way there.
And it's like the 3 smallest people.
And it was super like choppy. It was super like choppy waters too.
Yeah, I mean, no, imagine if like it was like Cody and fucking Sammy and Ryan going. They would have gotten that thing like in a minute.
How long do you think it actually took them?
Huh?
Do you think they helped him at all?
I don't know. It looked because they were turning too. I remember seeing they weren't really paddling well because Gio and Janine don't have the upper body strength for that,
No.
and Sammy doesn't really look like a strong guy.
Jesse,
and he's lost a lot of weight too.
Yeah,
it looks like. So no, that's what I'm saying. They should have had Sammy and them on there and just fucking trucking down.
We see pretty much Gio plays it up. He's like, I have to. I'm on the bottom. I have to play.
He is so fucking cocky this whole episode. He's like, I feel safe. I'm gonna lie, and then he's terrible episode for Gio and Ryan. Both terrible episodes. Both episodes.
Yeah,
Ellie had a bad episode. All on your team too.
I didn't choose Gio, but yeah.
Yeah, but you did choose Ellie.
I did.
You chose her first overall.
You wanted her first overall too.
I did, but I'm happy I don't have her now. No, he was. Oh, and also where Ryan was like, "Oh, I know Jeff is gonna say 5th person voted off Survivor 4-3 Cassie." You could pretty much just write it right there. Cassidy is not gonna get voted off because there's no way they would not do that.
Give that in a confessional.
No. Yeah, they would because he was so upfront about it.
What was that?
They could because he was so upfront about it.
They would. Ideally, they would want Ryan to get voted off.
Yeah, I mean that's what
just for the irony of that. So, no, so Gio. All of them risked their votes.
Smart.
Martin? You're pausing like Carla after
I know. That's the thing now.
I know. I'm gonna blow you out, bro.
Yeah. She's thinking too hard.
I think Jesse and that tribe at Vesey, like how you said, are the most united. So I think he could risk it. And I think he would be fine. Janine has her idol.
She's playing so hard.
Gio really shouldn't have, but also like he thinks he's in a position that he's not.
They both thought, him and Ryan both thought they were like way in power. Is that like just
that tells you how Carla's playing,
probably, yeah, and James, but like
yeah.
I wonder like how good I would be at this game, because I feel like you would know if you're at the top, or because they didn't have a single ounce of paranoia at all, and that's weird. Yeah, no, he shouldn't have played his idol. None of them should have risked the vote. They should have all just left.
I mean, from the viewer perspective, we knew Gio should have. So
yeah, but we'll get into a little. I just want to say with the Vesey thing is if they went to a tribal council, pretty much whoever Noelle wants to go goes at that point, because Jesse would lose his vote, and she has a steal a vote, which is 2 votes right there. So anyone that she wants to get voted off would be voted off technically at that if they had a 4-person tribal council. It doesn't look like it's going to happen now.
Other than Cody's idol, but yeah. Cody, I guess, would be safe. Then it'd be Dwight or Jesse. Jesse.
Dwight and Jesse.
Yeah, it would be, or then you could get into the idol play there maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But she holds a lot of power in that tribe at that point.
Without knowing that a merge might be on the horizon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Janine, like Sammy said in his H&M confessional, he looked like an H&M model when he's leaning up against a tree like that.
Sammy?
Yeah. It's like when he's talking I remember because Nick just started laughing and laughing when he saw that. So I was like, he does look like an H&M model there. But he's saying that she shouldn't have risked it.
She was power hungry.
She was very power hungry.
She got an idol. She felt on top of the world because she made it active and fooled everyone in quotation marks.
Yeah.
And took another risk. Why? I don't.
Power hungry, like you said. She could have lied too. She got back, saw that she didn't have it. She could say, "Hey, I didn't risk it." So, and people probably would have believed her because it would have made sense why you don't risk it after getting an idol. But no, she's power hungry at this point, and it's not a good thing, especially when Ellie's your ally.
No, and then we pretty much go back. I mean, Jesse also fessed up to Vesey, open it in front of everyone.
Yeah, that one was a little different. I feel like you kind of had to, because it seemed like they were united with who they were sending and everything. Mm-hmm. So it looked like they had a plan going in. Maybe that's also why, because they had a plan. Like, hey, you're gonna play your advantage no matter what, or something, or risk your vote.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. So let's go. Let's talk about the Blue Tribe.
Coco.
Yep. Ryan, dude, what's going on with Ryan, dude? You need to talk to him.
I think that he deserves an Oscar for his
for his acting,
for his performance.
Stop all the niceness, guys. He's like, don't talk to me. He's like, don't talk to me. Just
he comes in, he owns up to his like, hey, I lost this challenge. If you want to vote me out, like.
Yeah, and then
never throw your name out
there. No, that's an old school mentality too. Never throw it. And then Cassidy is like, "Oh, I want to try and save you tonight." He's like, "No, I'm good.
No."
He's like, "Just vote for me." And it was like, what? Like, if that ever happens, if someone says they want to save you, play along with it. Be like, "Well, who are you thinking then?" And stuff like that. You know, play along. Don't be like, "No, I want you to protect yourself, not me."
Hey, Carla, tell Cassidy to vote for me. And then Carla or James goes and tells Cassidy, "Hey, Ryan told me to tell you that to vote for him."
It's
the gameplay. Some of the worst gameplay we've seen in quite some time.
It was. Well, I mean, that tribe's a fucking mess. To be honest, we didn't see how bad they were because they kept winning, but that tribe is a hot fucking mess, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you can't say in a long time. Lindsay had a terrible episode last episode.
She did.
Got voted off. I think everyone that's gotten voted off, except Mariah and NECA, it seems like, have had, like, huge flaws in their game. Because Justine was just constantly talking about how much she likes to lie and how good she is at it. And then Lindsay got paranoid. And then Gio got way too fucking cocky. So
yeah.
It was a rough episode for Gio and Ryan fans.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm still a fan of Ryan, but man, Ryan, what are you doing, bro?
That was pretty rough.
But yeah, we get a blip here. Just a small little tidbit. With Carla and James in the sand, and Cassidy walks off. To where they're like, it's like Lindsay 2.0 all over again.
It's a little different. Lindsay's name didn't even fucking come up in conversation. Mm-hmm. Cassie knew that two people were targeting her, so I could feel she being a little bit more paranoid than Lindsay.
No, I'm speaking to James and Carla bringing up, should we just go Cassidy?
Yeah, I didn't think it was justified this time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cassie was nervous. Clearly, I don't blame her. But I do want to give Carla a thank you. Thank you for getting rid of the fucking knowledge is power advantage.
Which is 0 for 3 so far.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is 0 for 3.
Not been used correctly at all.
It's a terrible advantage.
It's crazy how that has worked. No one has used it correctly yet. It's crazy. But man,
knowledge is it's in the name.
Yeah, and he told fucking Carla first.
It's surprising. Why not Ryan?
I don't know.
I mean, that tells you how well Carla's playing, I guess. Socially.
Carla's playing really good. It's scary good. How I'm wondering. I don't know. We'll talk about more.
We'll talk about more in our power rankings. How good she's playing.
So we end up Gio gets voted off. Finally, we've been predicting it for like
Ryan with an agaped face.
Huh?
Ryan's face just
he had the shock like Pikachu face.
Yeah. 5 weeks we were predicting Gio would be voted off.
We got it right this time.
We did.
We did predict the last episode.
Yeah, we did. But every episode it seems like we're like, yeah, probably Gio. Probably Gio's gonna go next. And he stuck around, dude. But not this time. Finally came from him.
So to wrap up this episode, I guess we'll just go through who we think is our next boot, which will actually play into a role of our power rankings, which will be our next episode that we're gonna release after this.
Well, it's weird because I don't know what's gonna happen next episode.
We don't.
With the merge. I don't know how the merge is working.
We're assuming it's a merge.
Yeah. It's assuming. Cause
it could be like a 2-tribe thing.
That's only been done the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and it's an odd number too. They're at 13.
Oh, okay.
So it's very tough to do 2 tribes unless you have one.
They would just send one person like
exile or something like that. Yeah. I don't think it's a swap. It seemed like they were hugging. I don't know. Do we see Applebee's next week? Do you think?
No,
You don't think so?
I don't.
No,
I think there's gonna be merge, but the food. I mean, they'll have to earn it. I guess. So maybe.
I hear there's an the merge again, but I don't. The hourglass is gone.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But I think they're gonna come up with some other weird thing to do. So we'll see. I mean, so let's get into it. Who do you think is gonna get voted off next?
I think.
Let's
based on what we've seen so far this season, and specifically this episode, I think it's Janine. I think she's the only kind of, I guess, confrontation that we have between tribes is Baka. We have Gabler and Allie and Janine just kind of butting heads. So I think there's going to be an immovable force that's going to happen, and I think that Janine's going to get axed.
Typically, it's the 2 minority tribes, 2 smaller tribes, usually unite against the majority of the bigger tribe. When it comes to situations like with 3s, that's typically what happens. However, Coco and Vessi might want to work with each other, but I don't think they're going to go after. I think Yellow wants more yellow people out than the other 2 tribes.
Yes,
the Baka tribe's going to kill themselves before they let someone else kill them. I feel like so. I think it's going to be whose side you're going to take on Baka in a way.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
We've seen, like you just mentioned earlier, Martin, in episode 4, Vessi helped Baka tribe in the immunity. Does that play into a factor with Coco?
Was that one of the reasons that they helped them in the challenge?
Yeah, I think it was to weaken Coco. I don't think that was a good idea. I think they should have just they have a bond kind of with Baka now, but Baka has the numbers. So it's difficult if you want to side with Baka and say, like, if it's traditional, like, old school Pagonging, and you just get all the blue out, then the yellow has the numbers. So
who's next boot? I said it was Janine. What do you think?
I'm going to say Ryan. I think they're going to go after. I think he's in a bad spot as it is. I don't think anyone's going to come to his aid, and I think as being the bigger guy, he's going to have a target on him. So, Martin?
I was gonna say Ryan, but now it just feels like he's kind of like that person you kind of drag along for a little bit. Just
he's a free agent.
Yeah,
free.
He's a free agent. He really doesn't have any sway in anything right now.
Yeah.
Especially after the previous episode, and I think Janine is a really good pick for the next boot.
She's playing hard. She's playing really hard, but
she doesn't have her vote.
Yeah.
Right? And then
she has her idol, but I feel
she does have her idol,
she'll
but
feel too safe and won't play it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens when we get down to like the 6. If they do have a split and there's 6 people that have to be voted off. I mean, if she's part of that 6, I mean, Gabe was gonna. If he's part of that 6, he's playing his idol.
It's gonna come down to mainly it's gonna come down to who's the tribe, I guess. Or I guess it doesn't matter because everyone votes regardless.
Yeah, but it's who's immune.
Yeah, who's immune.
And if Gabler's unimmuned, he's gonna use that immunity idol at that tribal council. I mean, you'd be stupid not to. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Or you can give it. You don't want a souvenir like that. Fuck, like Gio was like, I got a souvenir taken home. Fuck that, dude. I'd burn that thing. I'd be so pissed.
So who's your final pick, Martin? Ryan or Janine?
Janine.
All right. So that's Plan Voodoo. We have 2 people that believe that Janine will be the next to go, and 1 person that says Ryan will be the next to go.
I have been right most of the time, though. So
make sure to follow us on Twitter at Plan Voodoo Pod. Stay tuned for our episode for ranking the players. It'll be coming out a few days after this for distribution. Make sure to peep that and give us a follow on Spotify. It really helps. And make sure to retweet our content on Twitter and participate in the polls.
Yeah.
We're doing more polls.
You're allowed to comment.
Yeah, you're allowed.
People are allowed to comment on our stuff. We'll fight with you on it.
We appreciate all the feedback. This is Plan Voodoo, where a split vote is never safe.